The Democratic National Convention is in full swing in Chicago, and last night, two of the most popular Democrats electrified the crowd.
Hello, Chicago!
Barack and Michelle Obama headlined the second night of the Democratic National Convention. The Obamas got huge reactions from the crowd for slamming the Republican nominee, Donald Trump, and they made the case for Kamala Harris for president.
Thank you. We are all created equal. All of us endowed with certain inalienable rights, that everyone deserves a chance, that even when we don't agree with each other, we can find a way to live with each other. That's Kamala's vision. That's Tim's vision.
Her story is your story. It's my story. It's the story of the vast majority of Americans trying to build a better life. Look, Kamala knows, like we do, that regardless of where you come from, what you look like, who you love, how you worship, or what's in your bank account, we all deserve the opportunity to build a decent life.
Many Democrats have drawn parallels between the momentum in the Harris campaign and the excitement Barack Obama rode to the White House in 2008. Michelle Obama even channeled that campaign, saying hope is making a comeback, while the crowd chanted, "Yes, she can," a slight change to a slogan Obama made famous, of course. Well, Ithil Musa is once again following the convention for us in Chicago. And Ithil, these nights of the convention can go pretty late. So let's catch people up with what was said on that stage last night. Take us through it, Ithil.
Yes, it did go actually quite late, and I'll admit, Jacqueline, I have only gotten a couple of hours of sleep. But, you know, I think it's safe to say that the energy level, it reached new heights at the United Center in Chicago last night. Now, Kamala Harris was not there in person, but her presence was certainly felt. She was at a campaign rally in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, a crucial battleground state, in an arena where Donald Trump formally accepted the Republican Party's presidential nomination just 1 month ago. Now, her rally was broadcast on the Jumbotron in Chicago, which allowed her to address two packed arenas at the exact same time. But of course, the big highlight of the evening was Barack and Michelle Obama. The two gave very heartfelt speeches in support of Harris and hope. Here's more from former President Barack Obama.
I am feeling hopeful, because this convention has always been pretty good to kids with funny names who believe in a country where anything is possible. Because we have a chance to elect someone who has spent her entire life trying to give people the same chances America gave her. Someone who sees you and hears you and will get up every single day and fight for you.
Both Michelle and Barack Obama urged Americans to get out and vote. Right now, Harris has a slight lead over Trump in the polls, but the Obamas, they are warning that this will be a very tight race in November. The former president and former First Lady also took some digs at former President Donald Trump, who last month falsely told a group of Black journalists that immigrants were taking Black jobs. Michelle's retort last night electrified the audience.
For years, Donald Trump did everything in his power to try to make people fear us. See, his limited, narrow view of the world made him feel threatened by the existence of two hard-working, highly educated, successful people who happen to be Black. I know, who's going to tell him that the job he's currently seeking might just be one of those Black jobs?
We're going to take a closer look at both of their speeches with a former Obama speechwriter a little bit later this hour, Ethel. But who else did we hear from last night?
Yeah, we heard from second husband Doug Emhoff, Kamala Harris's husband. You know, he gave Americans really a little bit of perspective into her personal life as a stepmom and as a wife. His speech was quite touching and at times humorous as well. Here's a little bit from last night.
Those of you who belong to blended families know that they can be a little complicated. But as soon as our kids started calling her Mamala, I knew we'd be okay. She'll lead from the belief that wherever we come from, whatever we look like, we're strongest when we fight for what we believe in, not just against what we fear. Kamala Harris was exactly the right person for me at an important moment in my life. And at this moment in our nation's history, she is exactly the right president.
All right, so Ethel, here we are on day 3 of the convention. Who are we going to be hearing from tonight?
Well, tonight the keynote address will be given by Kamala Harris's running mate, Minnesota Governor Tim Walz. You know, he's not well known outside of his state, so this speech tonight will really be an opportunity for Americans to get to know him. He is a former veteran and teacher, and he grew up in rural America, and Democrats are actually really hoping that he will be able to help Kamala Harris secure key Midwestern states, in particular Pennsylvania, Michigan, and Wisconsin.
Okay, Ethel, so much more to look forward to. That is Ethel Musa in Chicago for us.